Aristotle's *Politics* is a foundational inquiry into the nature of human communities and governance. At its core is a simple yet profound observation: humans are, by their very nature, political animals. Unlike bees or other social creatures, we possess the unique faculties of reason and speech, which Aristotle calls *logos star. This capacity allows us to deliberate about justice, morality, and the common good. For Aristotle, the ultimate purpose of any political community, or *polis*, is not merely survival or economic prosperity, but to create the conditions for its citizens to live a virtuous and flourishing life. The city-state is the natural arena where our highest human potential is realized through shared debate, lawmaking, and collective action. To understand the ideal state, Aristotle begins with human nature. He observes that our ability to communicate complex ideas and make moral distinctions sets us apart. This isn't just a skill, it defines our purpose. A solitary human, he suggests, is either a beast or a god incapable of achieving true virtue or happiness outside a political framework. The polis, therefore, is not an artificial constraint on freedom but its necessary fulfillment. It is through living under laws we have reasoned about with fellow citizens that we cultivate justice and become fully human. This perspective places a tremendous ethical burden on politics, framing it as the master science concerned with the highest human good. However, Aristotle was a realist. He studied the constitutions of over 150 city-states and found most of them lacking. The central problem, he concluded, was bad rule. Drawing an analogy to the human self, he posits that a well-ordered entity requires the rational part to govern the appetitive part. In a city, when the ruling element pursues not the common good but its own narrow interests, the entire community becomes corrupt and fails in its essential purpose. This leads him to a detailed analysis of different forms of government, distinguishing between those that aim for the benefit of all and their corrupt counterparts. His taxonomy of regimes is a central contribution. He identifies three correct constitutions: kingship, rule by one virtuous person; aristocracy, rule by a few virtuous individuals; and polity, rule by the many in the interest of the common good. Each has a deviant, corrupted form: tyranny, selfish rule by one; oligarchy, selfish rule by the rich few; and democracy, selfish rule by the poor many. Notably, Aristotle does not consider democracy inherently just. When the poor majority rules solely to plunder the wealthy, it becomes a factionalized and unstable system. Stability, he argues, is most likely in a polity, a mixed constitution that balances elements of oligarchy and democracy, ideally anchored by a large, moderate middle class. This analysis is intertwined with some of Aristotle's most troubling and context-bound ideas, particularly his defense of slavery. He argues for the existence of natural slaves, individuals he believed lacked the capacity for full rational deliberation and thus required a master to direct them for their own benefit. While he criticized the enslavement of prisoners of war as unjust, this distinction does little to soften the repugnance of the core argument to the modern reader. It stands as a stark reminder of the limitations of even the greatest thinkers, whose vision was constrained by the pervasive assumptions of their time. This defense also serves as a foil in his philosophy, highlighting his belief that true freedom and citizenship belong only to those capable of rational self-governance. For free citizens, Aristotle emphasizes the supreme importance of law. Laws, born of reasoned deliberation, represent impartial wisdom accumulated over time. They are, he famously said, reason without desire. While he acknowledges the need for flexible judgment in particular cases, he advocates for a government of laws, not men, believing it guards against the capriciousness of individual rulers. The goal of legislation is to habituate citizens into virtue, shaping their character through education and custom to naturally desire what is good for the community. Ultimately, Aristotle's *Politics* is less a blueprint for a utopia and more a practical guide for preserving and improving real states. He is deeply concerned with the causes of revolution and stasis, factional conflict, identifying inequality and perceived injustice as primary threats. His prescription is a strong, stabilizing middle class, which he sees as the most rational and least factional group, capable of mediating between the extremes of wealth and poverty. By pursuing moderation, justice as fairness, and the rule of law, a state can hope to achieve the stability necessary for its citizens to pursue the good life, a life of virtuous activity within a community of equals. Though the city-state of ancient Greece is long gone, Aristotle's probing questions about justice, participation, human flourishing, and the perils of factional conflict continue to resonate in every conversation about how we should live together.